The past few weeks have started to paint a pretty solid picture of what to expect out of the Pixel 10. The short answer, frankly, is more of the same, as Google's plan seems to be to keep the same core design across all four phones, with the base Pixel 10 getting the most attention. What we don't know, of course, are prices. And when you're trying to decide between getting a Pixel 9 now or waiting several months for what looks to be a spec bump, that can make for a pretty tough challenge. Today, we're getting our first glimpse at potential Pixel 10 prices, but I'd hold off on reading too far into these for now. Android Headlines has been the go-to source lately for Pixel leaks, particularly thanks to that team's partnership with OnLeaks. Today's report, however, is all internal sourcing from but I'm not sure how seriously we should take these comments months out from launch. Android Headlines coverage breaks down into two sections: rumors surrounding the upcoming Pixel 10 pricing structure, and another set of rumors surrounding Google's plans for prices come 2028. Both are ringing alarm bells in my head, but before I break down why, here's what's going on. According to Android Headlines, the Pixel 10 Pro XL is getting a $100 price hike at launch this summer, bringing the price up to $1,200, respectively, which isn't too far off how brands like Samsung and Apple price their respective lineup. The Pixel 10 Pro could stick at $1,000, according to this report, while the Pixel 10 Pro Fold would actually drop to $1,600. This report originally also included a $100 price hike for the regular Pixel 10, though that was removed after publishing. The second round of reporting here moves us further into the future. Android Headlines writes that Google's Foldable will continue to decrease year over year, dropping to $1,500 by 2027, or maybe 2026 or 2028. The article includes all 3 years. Google's A series, however, is supposed to stick at $500 through 2028's Pixel 12a, which would represent 5 years without a price hike. Okay, so putting aside some of the oddities here, like the 3-year span for the Pixel Pro Fold series to hit $1,500, I'm not sure anyone should be reading too deep into these rumors. Smartphone pricing can already be a difficult nut to crack, especially as a focus on AI continues to push component costs higher and higher. Factor in the current tariff situation, which isn't brought up here in regards to this 2025 lineup at all. That's despite Google making phones in China, Vietnam, and India, which currently face, respectively, 54%, 46%, and 26% tariffs. And in the case of China, that could potentially double as early as tomorrow. You don't have to be an economy expert to understand that practically every major tech brand right now is scrambling to try to figure out what upcoming products are going to cost. US and Canadian. Gamers will not be able to participate in tomorrow's Switch 2 pre-order window, unlike the rest of the world. Even if Google has already somehow worked out the math on these current tariffs, it's clear that these numbers are changing on a daily, if not hourly, basis. Trying to predict what products will cost in the back half of the year, let alone 2028, seems like a fool's errand. But even setting tariffs aside, Google's decision to price the Pixel 10 just $100 below the Pixel 10 Pro wouldn't make much sense to me, which probably explains why it was removed from the Android Headlines article to begin with. The current slate of Pixel 10 rumors point to a mix of upgrades and downgrades for the camera, as the inclusion of a telephoto lens might leave us with a weaker main sensor. This already caused a pretty significant outcry among Pixel fans concerned that Google is focusing on the wrong elements with its base model phone. If you can get a significantly better experience across the board for $100 more, or on a 36-month carrier payment plan, $2.77 more per month, why would anyone choose the cheaper model? If the tariff situation clears up, these rumors make a bit more sense, though I certainly have my questions over many of the figures here. For now, though, I would take pricing rumors for any smartphone, any new product, really, with a massive grain of salt. We're in some pretty unprecedented economic times right now, and I don't think anyone, including those at Google, really knows what the Pixel 10 is going to cost later this year. Stay tuned for any updates. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.